Hello everyone and welcome to another video with Cass on the Maizuma channel. So today I want to show you 4 different kinds of selector panels, and those can be very useful for your redstone projects. Redstone panels are useful in the cases where you have multiple choices to make but you can only pick one. So if you select something, the panel will clear all the other selections and then change it into the selection that you have just made. The 3 main panels that I want to explain, they all look different and they also act different. So the first thing you will notice is that this one has the buttons on the bottom row, this one has the buttons on the top, and this one has the buttons in the middle with the lamps. And this one here, well, I will explain this in the end. They're all flush with the wall, so if you're building this in survival, this should look good as well. And as you can see, they're mostly cheap and compact. With all of them, once you make a selection, it will transition without blinking or derping immediately. And the special thing about this one is that if you select the same thing more than once, like this case, as you can see, the output won't blink or anything. This is the visual output, of course, but if you want to connect this to anything in your system, you would probably want to have more comparators on the other side. So this is really easy to hook up. By the way, guys, I'm not going to make a tutorial for any of them because they're really easy to copy. I'm just flying around them by now, and they are just repeatable units that you can expand up to 15. The other particularly special thing about this one is that it won't break. So if you try to spam the buttons, which sometimes may happen by mistake, especially if you're playing on a server, you might end up with more than one selection being made at the same time. And as you can see, this won't happen with this one. So it will respond to all of your clicks, but in the end, it will always select only one. So in case this is really sensitive and you can't have, for instance, your outputs blinking all the time, you can have a confirmation button, which is what I'm going to show you how to make right now. So to do that, for instance, you could add a button right here and then have a torch in here, and from here maybe another torch. Let me pick a slab from here. Okay, so your outputs are going to be those torches, and as you can see, we already have a selection now, and if we change it, of course, it will reflect here at the back. So now we have a new selection. So what you can do is to use a redstone line up here. As you can see, we have items inside those droppers. Well, just because I was trying to show the items. We have items inside of those droppers, so the signal strength at the output level is just 1, so the signal strength won't contaminate the other ones. And what you can do is to just have a torch in here, and basically the torch will turn off all the outputs. So if you turn it on, then you know what the selection is, and if you turn it off, then you don't know. And just connect it here. So now you can select anything that you want and the output will basically do nothing. It will only activate once you click the output button or the confirmation button, which is this one. I don't know if I'm going to be fast enough, but okay, maybe if I add some delay just to show you guys. So 4 ticks in here, just so you know, and then maybe another button here on the side. So yeah, you press the confirmation button, then your output will activate and then deactivate immediately. So this is a protection for your panel. The second one with the buttons on top works pretty much in the same way. So the transitions are smooth. You can take the outputs in exactly the same way by using comparators on top of these blocks in here. But the thing that makes it different is that when you press the button, this will actually activate again. So this one, for instance, could be useful on a minecart destination selection or minecart station destination selector, because once you select something, a destination, if you select it once again, well, the system shouldn't really do anything. And in this case, this could be used on a item shop, that you select something, but maybe you want more of the same thing, and then this thing will pause quickly to let the system know. So I'll try to fly around in here so you guys can copy this design. And this one doesn't share the same property of that first one. This is actually the only one who won't break if you press all the buttons. So if you do something like that, you may break your panel. But if you just select something else, it will fix itself. So not a problem there, especially if you use the confirmation button, then your output's not going to be messed up. And finally, we have this one, works pretty much in the same way. And this is the redstone, so you need a slab, a line with slabs in here in order for those droppers not to get budded, and so you can have a consistent behavior, because as you can see there's a difference of 1 tick between resetting the droppers and then setting another dropper. This is what makes the transitions all smooth and nice, like you can see here. And the special thing about this selector panel is the ability to turn it off. So if I press the same thing twice, it turns off, basically resetting the panel. So maybe as an option to, well, the option to not select any option. This is basically how it works. The redstone for this one is slightly more complicated. So as with all the panels, I'm using droppers facing each other. So you just place droppers facing each other, and you place one item inside each pair of droppers in this direction. And yeah, this works like this. And at the bottom you need those to be droppers as well. As you can see, those are droppers, or maybe as you can't see, those are droppers as well. The direction of the dropper doesn't matter. And then 2 observers in here, and then solid blocks at the back. So this should be simple enough for you to copy. And finally, we have this one using pistons. So this is incredibly simple, as you guys can see in here. So let's do a selection. So as you can see, it's pretty quick. And if I select anything else, this thing basically resets instantly, which is pretty cool. And this is thanks to the fact that these pistons at the bottom, they all get budded. So anything that changes in here, so in this case, I'm using a line of slabs in here to make sure that those pistons are not going to be powered, and then the redstone dust is going to update it immediately. So I'm using redstone dust here because it can power up to 15 blocks, but you could also use rails in here if you're worried about lag issues or something like that. Because as you can see, this one doesn't have a visual indication of what has been selected. So the idea with this one is to work as an internal component, maybe to a computer or a minigame. It's something that's not actually meant to be selected by the player. So you would actually have repeaters being placed in front of those blocks just like this, and then signals would be sent over some line. And this can also be reset. So if you send a short pulse in here, let's say you select something, and the computer or minigame needs just to reset it, you can just send a signal through this line and it will reset. The same goes for this one as well, so let me quickly demonstrate. You have something selected in here, you just send a quick signal in here and it can also reset this panel. So this could be useful if you're trying to activate a process and then the machine is going to do something, and in the end of the process the machine can automatically reset the panel for you. I can make the map available for you to download and copy the designs in case this video wasn't enough for you to do that. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave me it in the comments. Thank you very much for watching and hope to see you soon again. Bye!